I love you, honey. I hope you have an awesome day.
That's ridiculous. With your chef's kitchen, I'm Allison Walker. You can print out this entire recipe online right now. Also, we just had to make Gene Simmons' favorite dessert, purple raindrops. You'll find it online too. To watch our special web exclusive.
And it's hump day.
Log on to our website. It's fanews9.com/chefskitchen.
Minnow Closed Captioning is brought to you by Compton Arms Communities. With 10 convenient locations in Central Florida, there's a Compton Arms for you. At Bright House Networks, the best connections start here. And right now, we're looking for installer technicians to connect our customers with reliable TV, internet, and phone services. If you're tech savvy and passionate about working with the latest in home entertainment products and services, we'd like to talk to you. A career with Bright House offers a positive work environment, training programs, room for growth, a competitive salary, and an excellent benefits package, including complimentary services. Learn more at brighthouse.com/careers.
If your air conditioner is approaching 12 years old, it's time to think about replacing it. So do your homework and call Allied AC. We offer no interest financing for up to 5 years.
Hey,
And right now,
baby.
you can take advantage of massive savings during our
I love you.
closeout. Save hundreds on new heating and air conditioning.
I got the
systems.
joypad recording
LIAC,
scene.
and only for a limited time. Save big, save now.
Yeah, I
Call
gave
Allied
my
AC
4 or 5.
today.
One's a little, the rest of them are big. I'm just watching over here. I just saw, I'm sitting right by the file cabinet right here. The stack of bills covering part of the tank. I just saw him coming on this side of the tree, out of the Tupperware, like a snake on a mission, with a big one in his mouth, and he just zoomed right back to the wall. Yeah, he had one in his mouth. He's scraping on that. But I only have the camera on the joypad recorded at the water bowl. So it's only recording the water bowl, but it got it.
Just off 301, the new F-150 has arrived. With best-in-class towing, payload, and fuel economy, the 2015 is rewriting the record books. Or hurry in for remaining 2014.
Yeah.
Going fast at
He loves hiding.
$1,000 off.
He loves hiding there, and he loves the tree.
Keep calm and drive on with Baton's
Yeah.
Drive, the only station with over 300 live traffic cams.
Yeah, he's a sneaky slinky.
Exclusively on Bright House Networks.
So I love you, honey.
Baton's Drive, the morning's first news plus traffic and weather together.
Yeah,
This is
yeah, it's just something he kept on talking about little dog food.
We are coming up on 8 o'clock right now.
I walked in there, I stepped on one, I said, I don't like stepping on it, I know you
Thanks for
won't like
joining us this
stepping on
morning.
it.
And of course, tonight's
I
going
just
out there.
swept it up
Cool.
what I
For those
could.
who like it cool.
Oh, I gotta go back to this bathroom.
Sunglasses for us today. Erica,
I
hi
love you,
everyone.
baby.
We take a look at Damien this morning. He has
Oh,
jacket
so
on,
check
he
it.
has
He's
hat
on
on
top
too.
of the
It's
log
sunny,
swallowing.
but colder in parts of Tampa Bay. Most
Yeah.
kids, of course, noticing a difference this morning.
On top of the
47
log,
down in
he's a
Tampa.
light
Clearwater
swallower.
still checking in with 46 degrees. You're in the low
I
40s
love
in
you.
Lakeland Ranch and Lakeland. And we still have some mid-30s in Zephyr Hills and Brooksville right now. Later today, some of you in Citrus and Hernando counties will struggle to even get to 60. And we'll make it to around 61 in Tampa today. It will be sunny, but about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. Now, tomorrow morning looks to be a little colder than this morning. And then for you warm weather fans, we have you covered in the 7-day forecast. But first, Chuck Henson, and you have us covered with an accident in Gibson.
Yeah, I've got 2 on the traffic hotspot list. This one's Sky 90 is over. That's northbound to I-75, just past Gibson Drive. Multi-vehicle crash. Everybody associated with this crash is all off to the right. There's no longer any lanes blocked here. But here's what you need to know. The traffic delays attached slow at 20 miles an hour. Now, as far as the alternate routes are concerned, we always talk about US 41 and US 301. Right now, it's going to be US 41 is the best route. You can see when this stretch of 301 looks like going to Boyette Road, as a lot of folks are avoiding the interstate. Now, my other hot spot is for Manatee County drivers, a rollover crash. Southbound I-75 at University Parkway. These travel delays still backed up now from just before State Road 70, most of the way down to there. You've got Lockwood Ridge, you've got Lakewood Rancher, US 301. It's ultimates to that stretch by 75. Eric.
Well, thank you. First this morning, bad behavior, students kicked out, and a teenager killed. Those earlier incidents and that tragic accident left a cloud over the Florida State Fair last year. With this year's fair just a couple of weeks away, there's a lot of concern about how to keep kids safe and everyone. Vegas Times Fallon Silcox is live for. She's out at the State Fairgrounds in Tampa with more on what plans officials are unveiling today. Fallon, good morning.
Good morning, Erica. Authorities are taking this very seriously. The Hillsborough County School District, the Sheriff's Office, and of course, fair organizers, they all came together to create some new rules for this year's Student Day. And they say parents should feel better about sending their kids to the fair this year. Kids running riot-like behavior and cops unable to control the crowd. This was the scene at last year's Student Day at the State Fair, all captured on cell phone video. And these were some of the last moments of 14-year-old Andrew Joseph's life. Fair officials say when the kids became unruly, they were kicked out. Andrew was kicked out with them. He tried to walk home, but was hit and killed by a car when he tried to cross I-4 near the fairgrounds. Now, 1 year later, State Fair preps are underway, and authorities are coming together trying to find ways to ensure nothing like this happens again.
There's a lot of changes that were made today to make it a little bit safer, more family friendly, and I think they're going to be very effective.
Steve Haggerty, spokesman for Hillsborough County Schools, says the school district, sheriff's office, and fair officials all work together on a new plan of action for this year's Student Day. At schools, students will be shown a PSA explaining behavior expectations and new rules.
Also, in the back of the ticket, it explains some of the rules we haven't done in the past. The kids are going to have the rules spelled out right there on the ticket.
Parents will also be emailed the new guidelines, and there will even be some expectations for them.
One of the things that you're going to see is that after 6 o'clock, when you go there with your free ticket to get into the fair, we will require that you have an adult accompanying you.
Yeah, those are just a few things that the school district is doing this year for the Student Fair Day. Later on this morning, we'll be hearing from the Sheriff's Office and fair organizers about more specific details on what they'll be doing here at the actual fair to keep kids safer this year. And of course, you can stay with us. We'll have all those details later this morning. Erica?
Absolutely, Fallon, thank you. We should know Student Day at the Florida State Fair is happening next Friday, February 6th. Despite campaigning against Amendment 2 last year, Pinellas County Sheriff Bob Altieri now says he supports a new bill to legalize medical marijuana. Senator Jeff Brandis introduced the bill Monday and lists specific requirements for patients and dispensaries. Sheriff Altieri tells our partners at the Tampa Bay Times the Brandis bill addresses his concerns. Also, St. Johns County Sheriff David Short, who is president of the Florida Sheriff's Association, believes most other Florida sheriffs will support it too. We're watching a developing story for you this morning, from suspicious inmate deaths to cover-ups and questionable medical care. A state Senate panel now proposing new safeguards for prisoners. According to our partners at the Tampa Bay Times, the Senate Criminal Justice Committee is taking up that legislation on Monday. The chairman says this is the first step that can reset the prison system. A crash at a local restaurant lands the driver behind bars and a diner in the hospital. Tampa police are investigating. That happened at the Independent Restaurant on North Florida Avenue last night. Vegas Times' Jason Lanning is live for us in Tampa this morning. Jason, give us a closer look at what happened there.
Well, amazingly, no serious injuries after this accident, and given the time, quite surprising. Dinner time on the patio here at Independent Restaurant Police report showed 29-year-old Sully Torrey Medina had a blood alcohol level twice the legal limit, a .16 at the time of her arrest. Police also found a small amount of marijuana in her car. She is being held right now at the Orient Road Jail on $3,000 bond. Thankfully, the damage here at the independent restaurant is minimal. In fact, it might not even top $1,000. And also good news, as we said, no serious injuries in this crash. Erica.
Definitely good news, Jason. Thank you. And Sully Torrey Medina has one prior arrest for driving on a revoked license last year. She pleaded guilty in that case to a lesser charge. An attempt to put parents at ease after learning their children may have been exposed to tuberculosis. Health officials say a former student at Plant High School has TB. Anyone who was in close contact with that person is mentioned in a letter saying they need to be screened. A dozen of parents gathered at Plant High School last night looking for answers. The director of the Department of Health in Hillsborough County, who's also an infectious disease physician, talked about tuberculosis. He said they're waiting until February 17th to offer those skin tests because it takes that long for TB to show up in a test. He also talked about why they're only advising a certain number of people to get tested.
We go in, we look at those children who did share class rooms, anyone who perhaps the child identifies that they spent a lot of time outside of school with, anything like that. We use that to recommend who to get tested. That is a test, or that is a recommendation that it tries to include many more that probably really even have much of a risk, but we want to be on the safe side.
Although this disease is airborne, the director of health says the chance of catching it is low since it requires repeated exposure in close quarters. He also noted that it is treatable.
8:07 is the time on a Wednesday. Good morning. I'm Chuck Hansen, Real-Time Traffic Center. This report is brought to you by your Suncoast Hyundai dealers, and this is your current travel time. Southbound I-275 running 20 minutes from Beerside to downtown. Nothing atypical about that. It looks as though southbound I-75 is already calming down out of Pasco County. Just a little pocket around Fowler Avenue, and then just under speed on your way down toward I-4. 18 minutes is only 4 minutes slower than if there was no one on that stretch of roadway. 11 minutes coming in on I-4. Really, the underspeed traffic begins around Dr. King. The heavy stuff not until you get to the Selma connector and out of downtown. 13 minutes from downtown Tampa out to Memorial Highway. That's through the reconstruction zone. Now, we've been talking about a couple accidents that have really tied up the traffic this morning. This one is near the clearing stage. It's northbound to I-75 just past Gibson Drive. Check the Sky 9. They're not over that scene right now. But I want to show you what these traffic delays still look like. I mean, this is really bad. Northbound I-75 delays from before Big Bend Road. Wow, look at that. The underspeed traffic now creeping back toward College Avenue and Sun City Center. Now, this in yellow is not going to be bad at all. It's really the darker shades and the reds where we see things really begin to slow down. And I can show